Hello, this is Reverend Don Lewis coming to you from beautiful Florida. And today our question comes to us from Shira. And Shira asks if I can give some advice to help people who read tarot from being too literal. And she gives the example of the death card, which people who are new to tarot often will freak out over, thinking that it means literal death, which generally speaking it does not. And I guess that my primary advice is don't take it so literally. Understand that these are symbols, and their meanings exist within a continuum. Also, most important is what they mean to you. So use your deck for a while and see what it means for you. And I would never suggest that someone pick up a tarot deck and go out and start reading professionally the next day. You want to get good at your tarot, learn what the symbols mean to you, learn what your relationship to your deck is, before you start charging people, if in fact you ever do. So do readings for people and see what comes up. I often say that I don't believe that everything should be given away for free, and I don't, but that doesn't mean that you should be charging to practice. And so, reading for family, for friends, even for strangers under the right circumstances, just for practice is a really good thing when you're beginning. When you get good enough, then you should consider possibly doing it professionally. But part of that process is learning what the cards mean to you, and it may not mean what it means to anyone else. Most people understand the death card to refer to change, not to physical death. However, the way that this card will manifest for you may be something different. It may depend on what deck you're using, it may depend on what the image is. People read in many, many different ways. And so there isn't really just one answer I can make to this other than don't be too literal. Understand that they're symbols. There's a matter of interpretation. It isn't color by number. And as you work with them, you will understand that you should not take these things quite so literally. If the death card comes up, it very rarely ever means that someone's going to die, and I doubt that it ever did. Although there was a time people died much more frequently, and much younger and under a wider range of circumstances. Maybe in those days it was different, but now it's very unlikely that someone who's just come to you for a reading is going to be dying anytime soon, though certainly it could happen. But if the death card comes up, it's very rare that it's going to have that meaning, and almost certainly there'll be many other cards pointing to that same meaning if it were the case. And even then, I would be hesitant to interpret it that way. The death card normally means change. But again, the most important thing, which can only be learned by doing, is what the cards mean to you. So those would be my thoughts on the subject. I hope you find them interesting, and until next time, may you blessed be. Reverend Don, super omnibus of incantations and invocations for all occasions. Marianne Kay and I created this massive compendium of magic and artwork for you to use in any way that you would like. There are literally hundreds of spells and hundreds of illustrations, which can be mixed and matched and used in many different ways. Check it out now at witchghoulstore.com.